I'm going to show my legs.
You
okay.
show those legs, lady. Yes. No, you are just so beautiful, so radiant. You did such a good job in this. It's good to see you again.
It's so nice to see you.
Everybody's freaking out about the movie. It's getting a lot of buzz, man.
You know, Kelly, we have taken this film from New York to Florida to Denver to across this great country.
Yeah.
And people love Lilly Ledbetter.
Yeah.
They love her.
Hell yeah.
And
like a real hero. Yeah.
Well, you know, I remember the day I got offered this job. I was like, oh my God, I have to rally. I have to rise. I have to play. I've played a lot of unsavory characters in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And so I have to play a truly great American woman.
Yeah.
And we don't tell those stories often.
Yeah.
And so it was a remarkable moment when I said, I told my agent, I said, this is going to be a very fast yes. How do I not play Lilly Ledbetter?
Yeah.
But
at the same time, tell everybody if they hadn't heard of Lilly before, what is her story? Like in a little synopsis.
She's just this extraordinary woman who went to work late. Like, you know, a lot of women, we rise at 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
She went to work.
Hell yeah! That's what you do.
I mean, my career took off more in my 40s, you know, and now I'm in my 60s. Yeehaw.
Yeah, yeehaw.
So I'm saying is Lilly at 40 went to work. She wanted to make a better life for her children.
Yeah.
She's in Possum Trot, Alabama. You know, there's not a lot there. She goes to work in a tire factory at 40, works her way up through brutal hard labor, becomes a manager, and finds out, and suffers abuse, misogyny, sexism.
Yeah.
But she realizes she is paid a very good citizen gave her a sheet, and she saw when she was manager, she was doing the exact same work as all the managers that were men, and she was being paid 40% less.
And sometimes the people that worked under her were being paid more.
Oh, yes, people under her were being paid more if they were men. But then she started to fight. But she lost, and she lost a lot of battles. She lost a decision that was overturned. She lost the Supreme Court, but then she went and started knocking on doors and in Congress, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
So.
you had to have. Go ahead.
Well, because
now it's like in Congress. Now it's a thing. So
well, I mean, President Obama in 2009 passed the Fair Pay Act. Finally, 2009, women, hey, women, we got it. It took 2009.
You know? Took a minute.
I mean,
you had to have, like, I imagine all the careers, or all over your career, like all the characters that have come along, you can relate here and there, but you had to have been able to relate. Like a woman, even in any industry, but I've been in this industry, even the music part of it, I'll be somewhere and find out via lawyers or whoever, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm getting paid what? Like, and I've had more success, and I've had more, and I'm like, what does that mean? Why does that make me want to show up here? That is so rude. Because it's disrespectful is what it is. And you had to have, you know, experienced this in your career.
Yes, when I was first starting out, you guys, I was just out of graduate school, and I was like, woo-hoo-hoo. And I was like, oh, my God, I love this. You know, I love this business.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're going to pay you scale. And yet all the other men working on the movie were being paid real money.
Yeah.
You know, scale then was really low. But, you know, the very first movie I did was The Untouchables. And I was the only woman on the set for miles. I mean, even my makeup artist was a man. But there was, you know, this industry, when you cannot believe back in the 80s and 90s. I remember this one time I was offered a part, and it had nudity, and I was just out of school, and I was like, I don't really want to be naked. And the producer literally said to me, well, when you're doing the nudity, I'll hold your hand.
Gross.
And I said, is that all you're going to hold?
All of a sudden, that's like the guy at the creepy uncle.
But we tolerated this. I went to a meeting once with a very big, famous person, and he came out in a towel. I mean, I was just like, okay. He goes, I was just working out. I'm gonna put some clothes on. I said, yes, please do.
Good for you.
But we tolerated so much, but then we started to fight back as women. We started to fight back.
We need to take a short break, everybody, but let's get an audience member to help us out.
Hi, Kelly and Patricia. I'm Cynthia, and I'm the executive director of Girl Be Heard. Our organization works to uplift the lives of women, gender-expansive youth here in New York City through storytelling and theater. Our work is committed to social justice, just like Lilly Ledbetter. Thank you so much for sharing these stories. More with Kelly and Patricia after the break.
We are back, and that was a clip from the new film, Lilly, starring Oscar nominee and Golden Globe winner Patricia Clarkson, is here now with us. The film follows the life of activist Lilly Ledbetter, who fought for equal pay in the workforce. Her case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, where she ultimately lost. But you grew up knowing about Lilly Ledbetter. You grew up around a lot of strong women, right?
I grew up in a family of powerhouse women. I have 4 older sisters who are all in the workforce, very accomplished. I'm like the lowly actress. All my sisters are deeply accomplished.
Yeah.
And I have a powerhouse of a mother. So Lilly Ledbetter was like, you know, our gal.
Yeah.
And, you know, important to all of us. The first call I made when I was offered the part, I was in London shooting, and I called my mother, and I said, Mom, I'm gonna play Lilly Ledbetter. And she said, Patty, Patty, finally a movie everybody can see.
Oh my God. Your mom. Is it? I want to
Because I played a lot of drug addicts, even though I've never even smoked pot. But you know.
Is it true that, let's talk about your mom though. Your mom is like this force. And is it true that she refused to leave New Orleans like after Hurricane Katrina or during it too?
Katrina.
Yeah, during.
So my mother, you know, was a realtor, worked again, started later in life, became a realtor, went into was a state legislator. And then, you know, she really believes all politics are local. And the love of her life is New Orleans. She was born and raised there and came from nothing. My mother came from very modest means. But she became president of District C and then eventually president of the whole city council. But she never left New Orleans during Katrina. She stayed in the Hyatt with the police chief, was shot at. My mother never, ever left that city. She would never leave that city behind, ever, 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 ever. And so I grew up with that kind of person.
Strength.
And, you know, she greatly informed my Lilly. You know, my mother and Lilly are beautiful kindred spirits. And the sad thing is, my mother passed in June.
Yeah.
And she never saw the film.
Oh.
And so, but you know, but she was with me in spirit the whole time I was shooting it. But she was this remarkable person, not perfect. Yeah. You know, you have a powerhouse, you know, powerful women.
No one's perfect.
No, nobody. And she's complicated in many ways, but her strength, her undeniable love of country, of city, of citizens, of being a good person was always part of my life. My mother never judged anybody, race, creed, color, sexual orientation. All she cared about was the content of your character. That was it.
Which is how it should be. Interestingly enough, I feel like there's some connections, like you said, with Lilly and your mama, because even them passing wasn't too far apart from each other. She didn't actually get to see.
No, Lilly. So you guys, it's such a. Yes, I had to take the best parts of myself, the best parts of my mother. A lot of my mother is in Lilly because they really are kindred spirits. They really are two women who were able to fight, who were able and had an innate intelligence. They weren't highly educated women. They were innately intelligent and beautiful. But this is the sad thing. I didn't meet Lilly before the filming. She was like, oh, we're gonna meet at the end. We're gonna meet at the end. So we finally have this big premiere at the Hamptons Film Festival, first big festival premiere. But Lilly got sick. And she didn't make it to the Hamptons.
But the beautiful thing is, her daughter was
her
there,
daughter.
right?
Her daughter
so two daughters
is
of
such
these
a mini me.
women.
You know, so her daughter, Vicki, is just an extraordinary human being, and that apple falls so close to the tree, and I felt like I felt close to Vicki immediately.
Yeah.
But my mother and Lilly are somewhere doing something really powerful, and I don't know.
But I think
you know what they're doing? You know, they're making trouble, good trouble.
Yeah, fun trouble. No, and I think that there's something beautiful too. Like, although they weren't there, what a beautiful thing to be the next generation of that clan, to like represent, you know what I'm saying? And you're both there together, you're meeting, and you're so proud of your mothers that you were raised, and we're wanting to progress.
Yes.
Not go back.
Yes.
Y'all, everybody, Lilly opens in theaters on Friday. Y'all gotta check it out. Thank you guys so much.